Hope and Compassion is a charity from the UK that works specifically with children with special needs.
It's very much about working together with the professionals from the UK and linking them with organisations and institutions in India.
And it's about moving special education on in India or in this area of India.
India is a country which is full of resources, but to some extent has not had time to give the resources and the skills that are needed to help these particular children.
Ignorance is not a bliss in this situation where, disability is still seen as a curse or a sin, or the children are shunned upon or abandoned and left, in destitute circumstances. When we came here 2 years ago, we saw something that we couldn't ignore.
They're left in temples because parents can't face the abnormalities that the children have. They don't know how to care for them. Also, as they grow older, they can't carry them, they can't deal with them. So they'll leave them in the temples or in dustbins or somewhere where they'll be picked up and taken to an orphanage. The children that I'm working with here are children with cerebral palsy, with spina bifida, and children with very severe learning disabilities, children with physical disabilities, children who can't walk.
We're helping children and practitioners in an institution, say, like Bingalwara, which is very well known, and they're doing so much for the children. But we've also gone into the villages as well.
Children in villages don't get attention. Sometimes nobody even knows they're there. The parents are looking after them, those parents who've actually kept their children with special needs. And they need physiotherapy, they need help, they need even to go to school. And what we're doing here in India as Hope and Compassion is we're actually drawing attention to these things. We are showing the education department here that they need to look out for these children in the villages.
Why should these children miss out on the opportunity of education because of disability?
We created one resource room last time we were here, and now the education department in this area is going to recreate that room in as many different schools as it possibly can in the area. So most children with educational needs will have access to a resource room where there will be the kind of toys that are educational that they can learn from.
We're also working with Khalsa College at the moment to see whether we can have an education element where we can provide a course in special educational needs. So we're really looking at education and employment for the future generations that are coming.
It's spreading the skills, it's spreading the knowledge really, it's opening doors for them that they don't even know are there. Hope and Compassion aim to bring help to the teachers, to the therapists, and to the children to enhance the work that's already being done here in India.
All the professionals and practitioners that are coming through at the moment are volunteers, pure volunteers, who are giving their time and their specialist knowledge and in subjects that they love. The specialist teachers that we bring from the UK will actually work alongside the teachers in the schools, in the education establishments, and give them the skills that they're lacking. As well, therapists can come into physiotherapy departments and work alongside the physios that are trying very hard to do their absolute best for these children. These physiotherapists and teachers have a passion. They really want to do the work. Unfortunately, they have nobody to teach them. That's why we're here.
We bring what we've learned from the UK, and it's for them then to interpret it into the Indian way.
Hope and Compassion are working on several projects. One of them is a project in Prayas, which is a unit for children with disabilities, and there we've been creating an activity room. We also have an ongoing project which is to probably refurbish the whole building in time.
In Bingalwara, we've obviously worked with the special needs school where we've had soft play and sensory rooms implemented there. Our therapists now are taking that a step further by bringing the therapy into those rooms.
I'm a craniosacral therapist, so I'm bringing a work that is not actually known at all in this part of India. And it's work that is very useful for children, particularly with autism and children with physical disabilities. It's so touching to see their smiles and their happiness when, for me, when they're massaged, when they're given some therapy, and it really feels good for them. What I receive back from them actually makes it absolutely, totally worthwhile. We also have a very interesting project with a young man called Babalu.
At the age of 10, his legs were giving way.
So he ended up sitting on his bed for about 4 or 5 years.
He's a young man who didn't want to live.
हेल्प तो वो होंदी जो कोई आप खुद करी हूँ आप लोगों को कमांगे जाके हड़ा बेटा मार खान पैसे दो तो देगा
Obviously, finding out about him not being in school, we decided to connect with the local schools.
We found him originally a home tutor,
And then also put forward to the local government, why is this child not being catered for? So what they've done is put an application in for a government school where his transport has also been arranged.
We've called it the Babalu Project because what it's done is it's drawn attention to a lot of the children in villages who are not seen.
We've taken that project to the local initiative of Sarab Sikhya Abhiyan, and what they've said is that if we can identify other children, they will fund 1,200 places for children like Babalu to be put in a government school.
This Babalu Project is something that is very close to the heart of Hope and Compassion. It's really what Hope and Compassion is all about. It's bringing light into the dark areas, if you like. It's finding these children who are abandoned, who have no help, and making things happen for them, actually giving them a future.
So as well as the projects or the achievements in terms of sensory stimulation and the projects that we're doing, our biggest achievement is that the children feel that they're loved unconditionally, regardless of their circumstances. It's a long process, it's not something that can be done overnight.
We need volunteers, we need sponsorship, we need people to buy the resources that we bring with us, the fibre optic lights, the toys, the different sorts of resources that can't be brought here in India.
People with special needs and disabilities can have a great and fulfilling life, and let's help them to reach their potential.
I could really use a helping hand. I was so